Good morning students, welcome to GC Tech Hub CS tutorials. In today's class we will be seeing one question related to list comprehension, the topic which we started last time, and also we are going to see how to perform list comprehension or how to use list comprehension to create a new list using nested loops. So let's move on to today's class. So this is the question we have. There is a code given. So firstly we need to check the code. Consider the following code. What will the list res be storing? So res is the list which we are creating over here, and we have to consider this code, and here it is EV if I is divisible by 2, else odd for I in range 10 to 20. So we can clearly see that first of all we need to check out this loop for. So it starts from 10 and it advances till 19, because the stop value is 20. So one value will be less than that. The last value will be actually less than the stop value. So in this there is a condition used. If I is divisible by 2, that is if I is an even number, then the list should contain EV, else it should contain odd. So 10 is an even number, as you can see. So we will have EV for this. 11 we will have odd. Likewise, for all the odd numbers you'll be having odd, and for all the even numbers you'll be having even. And the list will be like this. So this will be the list which is res, represented by res. So this is list comprehension, and this is how list comprehension can save our valuable time. Next we are going to see list comprehension using nested loops. So in order to check out list comprehension using nested loops, we will be having this kind. If suppose we have a for loop structure like this, where we have for loop 1 followed by for loop 2, and here we will have expression creating list. So this thing can be easily converted into a list comprehension in this way. We can write it like this: expression creating list for loop 1 for loop 2. So this whole thing you can see that here for loop 1 refers to this one, this for loop 2 is this one, and this expression creating list is this one. So everything is crunched into one single statement. So let us see an example of nested for loops. So let us solve a question based on this. So here we have a question. The question is, given the following code, convert it using list comprehension to get the following output. So this is the output which we are talking about, this one. So we need this output for this code. So this code has been created using for loops. So what is exactly happening here? L1 and L2, these are two lists. L3 is the third, an empty list. For x in L1, for y in L2, L3 dot append x into y. X raised to the power y. That is, for every value of x, x will be raised to every value in L2. Okay, x 10 raised to the power 2, 10 raised to the power 3, 10 raised to the power 4, and that's why we are getting it like this. Then here it will be 5 raised to the power 2 and 2. So this is the output which we need, and we have to convert it using list comprehension. So how to do that? So I'm just going to copy this code here. So this is the code. So I'm going to remove the additional lines from here. Okay. Now this code has to be converted using list comprehension. So what to do? I'm simply going to write L3 equals x raised to the power y for x in for y in. So I have just written this, and now I'm going to print L3, and let us remove this code from here. And yes, you get the same answer over here. So this is the list comprehension. We have converted a code into list comprehension. Let us check the next question. So look at the following list comprehension. A list comprehension is given here, and that is like this. That is, L is equals to x comma y for x in range 5 if x is divisible by 2, for y in range 5 is y if y is divisible by not divisible by 2. So x comma y, that is, we have to create a list of tuples, okay, where each tuple contains two values x and y, and x has to satisfy this condition over here and y has to satisfy this condition. So we can simply convert it like this. That is, we can simply write L equals empty brackets for x in range 5 if x is divisible by 2, for y in range 5 if y is indivisible by 2, then L dot append. So we can write x comma y. Let us check this, and by doing it, so I'm including everything under a block comment. So I'm writing L equals an empty bracket for x in range 5 if x is divisible by 2, then for y in range, if the condition satisfies, then we'll check for y. If y is not divisible by 2, That is if x is an even number and if y is an odd number. So L dot append x comma y, and I have used an additional bracket over here to signify that this is a tuple. Let's run and we can see that we get the same answer over. So if we do the dry run of this code, then it would be, we just do the dry run. So here we can easily see that we have some values. We have L, and let us write L over here, and then we have for X and Y. So X is in range 5, so 0, it should start from 0. If X is divisible by 2, so X0 is divisible by 2, yes, enter this loop. This loop will be entered only if the condition is true. So for Y in range 5, so now 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if y is divisible by 1, so this is not divisible by 1, this is divisible by 1. Sorry, this is not divisible by 2. This condition is true. We are looking for odd numbers here. So 1 and 3 are there. So append. So 0 and 1, that will be appended first. Then 0 and 3 will be appended next. Now next is, what is the value of x? Once this is done, again we go back to this loop over here and we start from value 1 and we check is if 1 is divisible by 0 or not. It is not divisible, so this whole thing is skipped. So we won't be executing these statements. We again go back, we start from 2. So 2 is divisible, so again we start like this, where again odd numbers are picked up over here. So now we will be getting the values 2, 1, 2, 3. And then we have 3 which is not divisible, then we will have 4 which is divisible. For that also we will be having 4, 1, 4, 3, and our answer is also exactly the same. So this is how this particular loop works. So we can convert some list comprehensions into for loops and some for loops into list comprehensions, but not all of them can be converted into list comprehension. Let us see another question using list comprehension. So the question here, 1 second. It also uses list comprehension, and this is a question, an application based question which is taken from your exercises. So what does this question say? Use a list comprehension to create a list named CB4. The comprehension should consist of the cubes of the numbers 1 through 10. First of all, cubes of the numbers from 1 to 10 only if the cube is evenly divisible by 4. Finally, print that list to the console. Note that in this case, the cube number should be divisible by 4, not the original number. So, original number, if it is 1 to 10, let's write the numbers. So, we have taken the numbers 1 to 10 and we have to print their cubes. And so on and so forth, we will be getting the numbers. So here, this is how, what we are going to do is we have to check out only those cubes which are divisible by 4, like 8 is divisible by 4, 64 is divisible by 4, okay, and 1000 is divisible by 4. So we are going to take up those numbers which are divisible by 4. So let us write a list comprehension for this. So we are going to So now we are going to write the list comprehension. So we have taken it as CB4, and now x raised to the power 3, if x raised to the power 3 is divisible by 4 for x in range 1, 11, and print CB4. So we saw over here that first of all we are taking cube of the number. We are checking whether the cube is divisible by 4, and that too we have specified the range of original values x to be taken. Let's run it. There is an invalid syntax. Maybe it is, sometimes it asks for a condition after the for loop. So I'm going to write it over here after the for loop. And yes, we get these values. These are divisible by 4. So this is the answer to the question. So students, that's all in today's video. I hope you all understood list comprehensions using nested loop in a proper way. So please keep practicing from time to time, okay? And also try to solve the exercises given at the back of the chapter, because they will help you in clearing your concepts. So thank you everybody. See you all again in the next class. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.